born in America. Yeah, I know. It's like, that's a trippy story. Born in America, you moved to Puerto Rico, and then you dude, isn't she beautiful? Look at her. She's barely like 25. And she's got 2 grown children, right? Yeah. But so what brought you to all of that? If you could start from the beginning to now, like, tell me your story and take your time. We've got time on this one.
So basically my parents moved to the United States from Puerto Rico, and I was born in New Jersey. At the age of 4, my parents moved to Puerto Rico, back to Puerto Rico, and that happens a lot. We see this happen a lot. We see children that are born here, go back to the native country, and then return. So I returned at the age of 28. I was already a single mom. Yeah. I had, hardship, things that happened in my life that put me at the place that I was at. But I have a very supportive family. My parents, my sisters, it was incredible. So I found myself, and I always tell people I have 2 girls, 2 boxes, but I had a huge dream. And I knew I could do it. I had become a Christian when I was 16 years old. Unfortunately, I lost my way in the process. But having to find myself as a single parent, it really brought me to the place that I needed to come back to the Lord the way I knew to do that.
Stop there. You said 2 boxes, 2 girls, and a dream. Can you explain that? What, like 2 boxes? What does that mean?
2 boxes meant I had all my belongings were placed in 2 boxes. That's how much stuff I didn't have.
Wow.
Or I had. I didn't see a need. I mean, I ask Etta sometimes. Etta, Etta. And she says, Mom, I don't remember being in need. And I'm so thankful for that.
She's a 4'11" power ball.
And she says, Mom, I don't remember those days. I mean, we share one room, one bed. We lived on a $250 income, spending money to say, I have food, I had a shelter, I live with my parents, but that's all I had available for emergencies, car accidents, or whatever that was. That's all I had. But I never saw a need, and I never saw myself. I never felt pity for myself. I just,
Amen.
This is where I'm at. And I know God will see me through. I believed him more than I believed my circumstances. So we moved. I had 2 girls. My sisters were so gracious. They got me in. I remember them. I always thought about, next year at this same time, I'm not going to be in this situation. That's all I said to myself. And again, I believe God more than I believe my circumstances. So we moved to Florida. We moved to Florida in a very critical time. And I always tell the parents, when you move in the middle of the year, it's very difficult for children. But again, my kids never saw that they were in disadvantage because they didn't know any English. Their teachers were very supportive. I remember Etta telling me, I didn't know that my teachers didn't understand me. She was speaking to them in Spanish. But she never felt different. And I thought that was amazing. So then I began my journey as a teacher. I had already worked in Puerto Rico as a classroom teacher for 4 years. So then I went into a middle school that was very rough because my heart was devoted to children, younger children. But you know what? You take the job that you can at the moment that you're at. And so I did.
Did y'all listen to that? Say that again.
Yep, you take the job that you can at the moment that you're at.
That's exactly right. You got to start somewhere. Yeah. And people, I don't know what it is about, especially this generation of kids, this era of kids. I got to wait for that perfect situation, that perfect circumstance, perfection comes in time. And it's just like you just keep moving and moving, and you keep growing and growing and growing into what you're doing. Yeah. Continue. These are like, I could pause you at like, a minute increment. I'm like, ooh, that's good. You should talk about that. But you got so much in what you're talking about.
Thank you. So I started working at this school. It's a middle school, and I found myself 3 years in, and I'm like thinking, I can't do this. And then as I'm traveling, my kids were 45 an hour and a half away from me. My mom, being a mom was a priority to me. But as a mom, I had to offer my children, shelter and other things. So then at that point, I meet Kenny, who's my husband. And we started dating. God was so gracious to us because Kenny there were times that Kenny didn't even know that I have no money to pay for the food in my refrigerator. And we would go shopping. And I remember this one day we were dating, and we were buying all these things. And he kept saying, "Oh, let's buy this and let's buy that." And I'm thinking in my mind, when I pass that Visa,
Swipe, yeah.
yep, that is gonna bounce my account. And you know what? But again, I believe God more than I believe my circumstances. Wow. So I remember just going by, and I was ready to swipe my card, and Kenny goes, "Oh no, this is on me. You're buying all this stuff because I wanted it." And I'm like, "Lord, you're so good," because it would have been disastrous for me. I know I would have all these overdraft fees. So that was that. So we met. We dated for a year. We got married. And our journey as a family started. It was a blended family. Again, it was just that place where we knew God was there. And we never doubted. That's the thing. People ask me, "How do you do that?" How did I do what? I don't think that I did anything special. I lived life trusting God. That's basically it. And we moved from glory to glory. And I never saw my situation as, "Oh, I feel so bad about me because I'm a single mom and now I'm moving to another country and I have 2 girls and what am I going to do?" I never felt bad about it. I just knew this is the life that I had to live, and I was going to move on. So then from there, we moved. We bought a townhouse, a small townhouse. That's all we could afford, so we did it. We had, I think, $4,000 down payment. And I remember encouraging people, you can own a house. You listen, all you need is $4,000 for a down payment. And I remember a friend listening to me and then buying a house, and I was so proud of her. So then from there, we moved to a bigger home, and then Leah came along. And then from there, we just moved to St. Lucie County. And in St. Lucie, again, I was teaching. I love teaching. I love children. I was finally at a grade level that I absolutely loved, which was for first grade. Teaching how to read was a passion to me. And then I began just having leadership in the school, at the school level. The principal kept including me in all these leadership opportunities.
That's
the district called me into leadership, and I was part of it. I never sought out that leadership. It just came to me.